So in this video, we're going to talk about why I stopped trading stocks. And just so you know, it wasn't individual stocks I was trading. I was doing options trading. And I probably stopped that around like November of last year. Somewhere around that time is when I kind of veered off from that and started to focus on other things. And how I got into it was, obviously because I do YouTube. I thought it would be a great way to create content, right? Like it was something like, all right, I see a lot of people out here trying to make money when it comes to trading stocks, and I was like, all right, this could be a good opportunity. But of course, not having experience, I was like, all right, let me make sure I learn as much as I can. So I bought books, I read a lot of books, I did a lot of research online, and I even got to a point where I was doing paper trading. And I think what I first started was doing was on Webull, on the Webull platform. They allow for you to do free paper trading, and I would do that. I would practice that for weeks on end, just to get a feel for it and learn along the way. And then I could also share my experience when it comes to doing that. But as time gone on, and eventually I tried it in real life, and I probably lost like $4, and I was like, all right, let me get back to paper trading because clearly I'm not ready yet. But it got to a point where I was just like, you know what? I just felt uncomfortable. I was like, I felt uncomfortable sharing, trying to share this with my audience or anybody that was willing to listen. And it was just like, I don't feel comfortable doing it. I know you can make money on it, and a lot of people, out there claim that they do. But it was just like, for something inside me, I was like, you know what? I don't feel comfortable sharing this because I don't think it's a great way to make money in any aspect. I'm sure people are doing it, but I just didn't feel comfortable because I didn't really think it was one of the great ways to make money. And it wasn't until I bought this book, right? I talked about this book a lot of time, and no, I'm not getting paid for this book, but I really think it's a great book. It's called Millionaire Fastlane. I think it's a great book for anyone that's thinking about starting a business. If you're someone that's starting a business, I would definitely look into that book because it really breaks down. It really gives you the raw truth when it comes to how people make money when it comes to businesses, like starting a business and just wealth overall. And it wasn't until I read that book where I came across one of the chapters where he talks about if you're someone that's looking to start a business, you want to make sure your business satisfies this principle, and it's called CENTS, right? And spelled CENTS, right? Like when you're thinking about starting a business, you want to make sure that business satisfies all those principles, and I'm gonna go over it in a little bit. And it's funny because when I was as I was gaining more experience, learning more about trading stocks, and then I eventually read that book. It gave to a point where I was like, you know what? Let me hold off on this, take a pause, and really learn this and really dig down deep into this and really try to understand when it comes to making money, what you should be looking for. So this is why I kind of stopped when it comes to trading stocks. So to go over that principle, the CENTS principle. Let's start off with C, right? So when you're looking for a business, you want to make sure you have control. You want to make sure you have control over the business, and this is something I learned from experience also when it came to affiliate marketing. If you've seen my other videos, I did affiliate marketing back in 2016 and started making money about 2018. But one thing I learned is that when he talks about control, when it comes to affiliate marketing, you don't really have control over that business because remember, you're marketing another business's product or service. And when they create an affiliate marketing program, they have control, right? They control how much commission you get, and if they wanted to just stop their affiliate program altogether, then your stream of income would be gone. And I learned that firsthand. I learned it the hard way. Right? I made a lot of good money with it, but I remember going through that process and they were changing commissions. And because I was making a lot of money with it, they kept my commission, but they were changing other people's commission. Eventually, the money died down, and then obviously I wasn't doing affiliate marketing anymore. But when he talks about control, in the stock market, you see how much manipulation there is when it comes to the stock market. You don't really have control in the stock market, and obviously you're looking at a screen. You're seeing the stocks go up and down. You don't have control. And that's not something when you want to do long. That's not a good long-term strategy. You want to make sure with any business that you're starting, you want to make sure you have control. And when it came to trading stocks, there's lack of control. And then he talks about entry, right? The E part of CENTS. And he was talking about if it's easy for everyone to get in, everyone to jump in, then it's probably not a business that you want to do long term as well. It's like network marketing, right? Anybody could get into network marketing. You probably pay a $200 fee, and you can jump right in. But if the barrier of entry is easy for people to get in, it's probably not a business that you want to do long term. And obviously, when stocks, it's the same way. Now the end part of CENTS, need. Does it fulfill a need? Yeah. Now, does it fulfill a need? in terms of in the market. Of course, when I was doing it to fulfill my need, of course, eventually I wanted to share that stuff. I wanted to share what I learned with my audience or anybody that was willing to listen on my channel. But in reality, it didn't really fulfill a need except making money in my pockets, and it wasn't something I felt comfortable sharing with my audience. Like on my channel, I want to help people when it comes to their finances, helping them make money, help them understand when it comes what they need to understand when it comes to making money. And I didn't feel that trading stocks, trading options was a good way to do that. So it was just like you know what, I didn't feel comfortable sharing that information because I didn't really feel like it was a good way to make money. And most people don't make money, and that's not a reason why you shouldn't do it, because most people fail in business, right? Like what they say, 99%. And yet I still recommend people start businesses, right? I would recommend anyone that's interested, that is looking to have more control over their finances, to start a business, even though a lot of people fail. But I feel that you have a higher probability of success with starting a business compared to maybe trading stocks, because you have more control, right? You can control the product or service that you're selling. You have more control over the cost, like the price that you pay. You just have more control over what you want to do when it comes to your business, right? Depending on the type of business that you start, you have more control. Stocks, you don't have control, right? You're just looking at a graph and it's going up and down, and based on strategies that you learn, things to look for, experience, you're like, all right, should I buy or sell? Should I get a covered call? Should I purchase this option? And based on all that information, you're basically taking a guess. And if it hits a certain point, then obviously you sell, you make some money, so on and so forth. But it just I didn't feel like it provided a need in terms of when it comes to that sense. So I was like, you know what, I didn't feel comfortable sharing it with anyone online. And then you go to the time part, right? The T part, time. Now, I didn't feel like it was a great way to leverage your time, because obviously the stock market is open from 9:30 to 4:30, and I had to be there for that time, right? It just felt, and I only made money if I obviously traded stocks. And the thing is, if you've ever traded option stock, every day is not a good day to trade stocks. Like there's some days where it's a great time, there's a lot of volatility and you can make some money, but then there's some time where there's nothing happening. It's just trading, just trading across, and there's no opportunity. So that was the only time that you're making money. So it was just like, I'm just wasting my time during that slot where I could be actually focusing on other things, building out my business. And that's the thing. You want to make sure that you're leveraging your time, and trading stocks is not a great way to leverage your time. Like I said, there are people making money, and but more than that, a lot more people aren't making money. But for me, it's just something I didn't feel comfortable doing. And then you go to the S part of sense, and it talks about scaling. Now, long term, this is not a great scaling opportunity, right? Now, you could scale it in terms of, right, if you're someone that's starting trading options and you don't have a lot of money, you're going to start with like one option, right? You're not going to spend that much money. You trade one option, and as you make more money, you gain more experience, then obviously you're going to purchase more options, so therefore you can make more money. And that's probably where you can scale it. But long-term strategy wise, it was something I was like, you know what? I don't see any value in this. It's not something I feel comfortable doing. I don't want to do it. I don't feel the passion about doing it. So it's just like, you know what? As I go through those principles after reading that book, I was like, yeah, this is not something I probably want to do anyway. So I was just like, you know what? It didn't fulfill those principles, and I said, you know what? Let's not do it. So, and that's the thing. Like when it comes to entrepreneurship, like starting a business, like finding things that work for you, especially if you're someone that's trying to make money outside of a 9-to-5 job. This is the process that you have to go through in order to find out what works for you. You try different things, you find out what works for you, you find out what doesn't work for you, and you pivot, all right? And this is started the part of the process. You're gonna fail at some things, you're gonna see what works for you, and you're gonna find out what works for you. You grab some of these things that you learn, and then you go, and as you're going through the process of trying to make money outside of a 9-to-5, you have to find out what works for you. So that forced me to say, you know what, let me just focus on YouTube, right? Because with YouTube, I can provide value, I can fulfill a need, I can help people as much as I can, and of course, if the viewer finds value in it, then they'll either they'll continue to watch, they'll subscribe, and obviously be a follower and follow me on my journey. And as I grow out my channel, then I'll find ways to build my business even bigger. And of course, when you talk about YouTube, right? Obviously, YouTube is not something I can control. YouTube could shut down right now, or they could ban my channel, and then I would lose business. But of course, for me, I'm not relying just on YouTube. Obviously, I'm growing it, but then as I grow and get bigger, I'm going to find different ways to monetize and create revenue streams for my business. And YouTube is just a great platform in order to communicate and get a farther reach to people that might want to listen to what you have to say. So I understand that when it comes to control, but just because it doesn't fit those principles doesn't mean that you don't do it, right? Affiliate marketing doesn't fit all those principles, but I would recommend anyone that's trying to make money online start off with affiliate marketing because it's a great way to make a lot of money. But I just wouldn't rely on it long term. And it's the same thing for YouTube. It's a great way. It's a good platform to get reach out there. But as I grow, I'm just not gonna have all my eggs in one basket when it comes to YouTube. So these are things that you think about, especially when you're like thinking about starting a business. You wanna make sure you understand like the weaknesses, like what to look for. And like I said, anyone that's looking to start a business, I would definitely recommend buying that book. He has one. This is one of his first books, Millionaire Fastlane. He has another book called Unscripted that goes into more details, but I would buy that book first and then look at it, and I'm sure you will like it. If you're someone that's very interested in starting a business, you'll be shocked and amazed about the information that's in that book. So that's why I stopped stopped trading stocks. Right? It's like I said, I did a video a couple of days ago saying the stock market won't make you rich, and that's because like I said, it doesn't fit all those criteria. Like it takes too long in order to make money with stocks, and that's why a lot of people do options trading, because it's a quick way to make money. But when you really think about businesses, you in order to make money, you want to make sure you're building something that's sustainable and that can have a large reach in terms of who you want to communicate. And I think that's a big reason why I stopped trading stocks. So yeah, those are my thoughts. I'm interested to hear what you have to say. Make sure to leave a comment down below, hit the like button, and share. And if you haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe. All right, so you guys take care. Have a good one. Later.